Hello, this is Danielle Skeldon, reference librarian at the Jessie Smith Library in Harrisville, Rhode Island. Today I'm going to show you how you can search online using Google for an image and then copy paste that image into a publisher file so that you can print it out to use for crafts or school reports or any other thing. So let's get started. Basically, you want to start at the Google homepage as usual. You want to key in whatever it is that you're looking for. So I'm going to look for sloths today. Actually, sloths. There we go. And it will turn up everything that involves sloths, over about 99 million different results. We don't need that much. We just want the images. So as you can see here, there's all, images, video, shopping, news, more. You want to click on images, and that will filter through, so you just get pictures. Now, an additional piece of this puzzle is that you really want to find something that is fair use. Now, if you're doing a report for school, or if it's just something for in your household, your kids are coloring, something like that, it's not as much of an issue. However, if you are doing a report, you should cite your source. So you can use any of these images that have turned up, as long as you cite where you got the image from. Now, if you are trying to use something for crafting where you're going to make multiple of it, you may sell it, something like that. If you're going to use your Cricut in order to make something cool, you really want to filter it for non-commercial reuse. If you're not going to be selling it, non-commercial reuse. If you're going to be selling it, labeled for reuse. For my purposes today, I'm going to label it for non-commercial reuse. This is how you find it. So basically, at the end of the toolbar here, there's tools. When you click on it, it shows you this extra line of tools: size, color, usage rights, type, and time. You want to click on usage rights and choose whatever fits best for what you're looking for. I'm going to choose, like I said, labeled for non-commercial reuse. That turns up a smaller amount of images, but these images are labeled specifically for non-commercial reuse. Every once in a while, things will be thrown in here that do not belong, and it's quite obvious usually when that happens because you'll see a watermark or some sort of a seal on it, and you really want to stay away from those. That being said, I'm always careful no matter what. It's difficult to tell sometimes, but this is the best way to go about it, in my opinion. Just using this tool, labeled for reuse. If you're going to be selling, things with the image on it, it needs to be a stock photo of some sort that you don't have to pay for. For my purposes, for this tutorial, I'm going to use the labeled for non-commercial reuse. And I got quite a few great results. I kind of like this coloring guy here, so I'm going to click on him and it brings up this page. Now, I will say that from time to time, you'll find a glitch where if you try to copy paste this, like I'm about to show you, it will just give you a blank little square when you paste it. That happens. Don't worry. It's okay. Come back to this page and click on the image. And that should bring you right to the page where the image is from. And if you try to copy paste it from that home page, you should be okay. But I'm going to go ahead and just show you with this image. I think it's going to work out just fine. Like I said, though, don't be afraid. If it doesn't work, try just clicking on this image here. What happens sometimes is it just doesn't want you to copy the thumbnail size, is what they call it. So you have to go to the actual page that the image came from. But we're not going to worry about that so much right now. What I am going to do is show you how to copy paste this image into a publisher file. So you're going to want to right click on your mouse. When you right click, it opens up this menu here. You want to choose copy image. So you give that a left click. And then you want to open up publisher. So mine is pinned to my taskbar down at the bottom here. But for some of you, you may just have it on your home page. As you can see, I've already run through this to make sure that it works. So I opened up a publisher file. I just chose 8.5 by 11. And it's really, really small right now. So I'm just going to make it 100% in size. There we go. Well, maybe I'll decrease it a little bit. Okay. So now that we have a good size to work with, I'm going to go ahead and paste the item. So you want to right click and it will bring up this little clipboard. You click on paste with a left click and it gives you the item. Now the image is really big comparatively, so you're going to want to squeeze it down. Now if you give the photo a left click and you hold it, you got to hold it down. You can drag it around the page so that you can get a better vantage point. Once you've done that, you want to size it. So if you choose any of the four corners, you don't want to use a side because it'll distort the image. But if you choose one of the four corners, you can click and drag it in. So you want to left click, hold it. And if you can notice, it turns into like a little X in the corner there. So you want to have that X image and just drag it in. Now, if you left click and hold, you can drag the sloth around the page as much as you want. And when you let go, he drops. Left click, drag him around, and now he drops. If you want to make him a little bit smaller, any of the four corners, like I said, or if you want to make them bigger, either way, left click and hold till you see that X. Make them tiny, make them big, tiny, big. It's up to you. Okay, now that we have our happy little sloth here in the center of the page, I'd like to give him a spin. If you notice here, I'll actually zoom in a little bit. Right here, you have a circle connected to a square. This is going to help you spin him. So if you notice when I scroll over it, I'm not clicking anything to make that happen. Just when I put the mouse over it, that's what happens. When you see that arrow, that circle of an arrow, you want to click and it gives you four little arrows. That tells you you're going to be able to spin your image. All you do is left click and drag it in any direction and it will spin the image for you. I'll show you that again. So you want to left click. You get the four little arrows and then you can just spin him all the way around. When you're happy with where he is, just unclick. Again, left click, drag him into the center of the page. Left click, hold it, drag him around. I kind of want him a little bit bigger. Drag him. So you can just play with it. It's all with that left click and hold. So left click and hold it. You can drag. Left click and hold, you can spin. Left click and hold, you can size. This is how you use this tool in Publisher. So from this point, once you're happy with your image, you want to make sure that you're somewhat within these blue lines. Sometimes it doesn't matter at all. I have people that tell me that it does not matter at all. I've run into issues from time to time where the margins on the page, they cut off just a little bit of my image. So depending on what it is, you may want to make sure you stay within those blue lines. Some things it doesn't matter. You do get a little extra beyond the blue line. I will say that. I've never known it to be exactly that size. However, if you can't risk cutting off any of your image, you really want to make sure it stays inside the blue lines. Once you have it, put however you like, and it doesn't have to be perfectly centered. See, my sloth is off the page here. The corner is, it's just white stuff, and it's not going to show. If you look here on the left, it shows you more of a preview what it's going to be like when you print it out. So if you go to the top left-hand corner here and you click on File, it'll open up your sidebar with all these different options to save or share. You want to choose Print. You click on Print and then choose how many pages you'd like, whether you want it in color or black and white. If you want to change anything about it, as far as how it's being printed, you can do that here. And then you just want to click right here in this print box with the little printer icon. I'll show you that one more time. So from this page here, you just want to go to File, scroll down to Print. It'll open up this print preview page. Now see how right here it's cutting off a bit of my sloth? That's because he's not in the margin. Now every once in a while it will still show up on the printer, even though it came through this way, but depending on where I am and which printer I'm using, sometimes it does not. So again, that's exactly what I was talking about. You want to make sure that if it's important, you keep it in those blue lines because this may happen. If you wanted to fix it, you can. I'm not concerned about it right now. So I would just hit print. And once you do, it should go to your printer and you should be ready to color. Thanks so much for watching this tutorial. I hope it's been helpful. Everybody have a great week.